Wake up. The front page of the Entertainment is on. News, knowledge, and your voice. The views and opinions expressed on the page are not necessarily those of Jackson Productions or kjlh. Rise, shine, stay woke. It's the front page with Dominic DePrima on Radio Free 102.3 kjlh.
Radio Freedom, good morning. I'm Dominic DePrima, and I welcome to the mic and asking for blessings to God Almighty, the ancestors, the righteous elders, and Southern California's early morning communications. Drum is now wide open. Welcome, family. Welcome worldwide. If you're online, if you're listening on the app, just welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're starting every day with gratitude, so thank you. Thanks for getting up with us. Thank you is a good way to start the day. It's a great way to remember and take note of what's working. We have a busy day today in a good way. It's Monday, starting off, well, moving. Monday on the move. Happy Monday, family. I'm so glad you could be with us. You know, we do have a lot going on, but we are also always happy to hear from you. 520-KJLH, 520-5554. A lot of inspiring things. As I've said, I plan to start our days with inspiration, a lot of inspiring things going on around and about. But this one particular story that I read about North New Jersey really inspired me, and I hope it's something we might think about here in Los Angeles. Is the principal, his name is Akbar Cook. He's the principal of the West Side High School in North New Jersey, which, as you may know, is one of the poorest urban communities in the country, even though it's been on the move and on the come up since my brother has become mayor. My brother, Rouse Baraka, is doing an amazing job. Well, this particular principal installed a laundry room in his school for students. He says some students were bullied and chastised because they were coming to school in dirty uniforms. Some of them were becoming chronically absent, missing 3 to 5 days of school every month. And he did a little investigation, and he found out that some of these students were homeless, and they didn't want their backpacks being checked because their clothes, dirty clothes, were being carried around in their backpacks. They had nowhere else to put them. Some students who weren't homeless just simply could not afford to do their laundry, and they were being bullied by other students who were even posting pictures of their dirty clothes on social media. So rather than put up with that, the kids were just staying home. So the principal called around. He got the Amelia Foundation, which had adopted the school, to put out a grant. They bought 5 washing machines, 5 dryers. They moved one part of the football program and put in a laundromat. So it's open Mondays and Fridays, and they have a teacher in the room right next to the laundromat who will help the kids with their schoolwork, homework, or whatever they need while they wash their clothes. And I just thought, see, this is the kind of thing, I find that inspiring because I feel like we talk about students and we blame them for not doing well in school, and I feel like we're not doing enough to accommodate the new reality of students, right? We blame the parents. We say, oh, the parents should be doing that. Well, what if that child is homeless? What if that child, in South LA, at some of our schools, up to 70-80% of those children are foster youth? What if they don't have a parent coming to a teacher-parent conference? They don't have that parent advocating. What if they don't have a place to do their laundry? To me, the school is the business. And if we go by the motto that the customer is always right, then our schools need to do better. If your customer is mostly homeless, or many of them are homeless, if our customer is mostly foster kids, then we've got to change the paradigm. We've got to stop serving the customers as if they were the customers of 50 years ago. You know, when our kids were going to home to a Leave It to Beaver atmosphere. I don't know if that was the case even then, but certainly we know it isn't now. And so, a big ups to, you know, the West Side High School in Newark, New Jersey. And the principal who said, you know, what the heck is going on and what can we do about it? Instead of just pointing the finger at students. Big ups to Aqua Cook, a black man, I might know, for making that adjustment. I'll check in with our 24-hour news cycle.
And now, headlines for higher minds. Front page newsread with Dominique Dupree.
It is the 20th of August, 2018. Happy birthday to the Leos in our front page family. We'll be checking in with our new media Monday right after these headlines. The White House speechwriter for President Donald Trump was terminated last week after revelations that he had spoken at a conference attended by well-known white supremacists, according to 3 people familiar with the decision who were not authorized to speak publicly. Darren Beatty, who was a visiting instructor at Duke University before he joined the White House speechwriting team, was fired Friday after a media inquiry about his appearance at the 2016 H.L. Mencken Club conference, where Beatty spoke on a panel alongside Peter Bringlow. That is from the Washington Post. Politico is reporting Donald Trump has eliminated rules governing the process for launching cyber attacks, giving the military freer rein to deploy its advanced hacking tools without pushback from the State Department and the intelligence community. Administration officials told that to Politico.com. Trump's decision, the latest example of his desire to push decision-making authority down the chain of command, would empower military officials to launch more frequent and aggressive cyber attacks against adversaries like Russia and Iran. Those guidelines to coordinate between the different agencies of the government had been approved by President Barack Obama, and they were known as Presidential Policy Directive 20. And remember, well, you probably have seen it over the weekend. The doctor showed up late at the Orlando, Florida airport for an early morning American Airlines flight to Philadelphia this past Thursday. He got there at 6 o'clock. The flight was leaving at 6:24. Airline employees told Dr. Jeffrey Epstein that he was too late to board that flight. He became irate, started berating the employees at the gate. The police were called. When officers arrived, Epstein started yelling at them too, taunting them about their ability to de-escalate the situation. The officers arrested him. He was caught on cell phone yelling, cussing, and saying he was being treated like a black person. That video has since gone viral. That's reported in theroot.com. It is 4:46 in the morning. In sports, WNBA action, the Connecticut Sun beat the LA Sparks. And tomorrow, the Sparks take on the Lynx. Dodgers thrashing the Mariners 12-1. They will play the St. Louis Cardinals this evening. And the Rangers over our Angels yesterday. Angels faced the Diamondbacks this evening as well. It's going to be hot again today. Same day, different day, same weather. Highs in the mid-80s. It's already 69 degrees in the city of Compton. I'm Dominique DePrima, and this is Radio Free 102.3 KJLH, kjlhradio.com. In local headlines, by the way, the LA County Board of Supervisors has expanded the pilot program to offer homeless people access to hygiene via mobile showers. That motion will set aside $200,000 in the Homeless Initiative funds to pay for the operation of one or more mobile shower trailers that are owned by the Office of Emergency Management. The county's chief executive officer will work with LA Homeless Services to identify service providers who can operate those trailers in locations where they should be deployed. 47 time for New Media Monday. Miles Blosson is our own new media correspondent, all things techie. Good morning, Miles. Hey, Miles, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, the sleepy is going around this morning. I guess that means everybody had a great weekend.
On that.
So, Miles, you and I both kind of zeroed in on the same article about how Google is tracking everywhere we go. It's kind of creepy. What is that about? What do they do with this information, and how do they track us? And is there anything we can actually do about it?
There's little that we can do about it in actuality, but basically every iPhone and most phones, I believe Android phones do as well, they come with Google Maps on it already. And so typically for myself, I turn off location services just for apps that I don't feel like leave my location. But of course, Google Maps does because if you're using it for navigation purposes, they need to know where you're going. However, for the people that did turn off location services, Google is actually admitting to its users that, hey, we still save your data. So when you search, like you use our other apps or when you go on Google and you search different things, you can Google anything, we're actually recording where you're going.
Right, so it doesn't matter if you actually turn off Google Maps, they're still recording where you're going.
Absolutely. And I was actually shocked when I opened up my Google Maps app. There's a portion in there where it says my activity. It literally tells me by date every place that I've gone. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah,
That's really horrifying.
Yeah.
So there's nothing we can do about that? I mean, there's zero you can, because if you're saying taking off taking off location services doesn't help, then basically the only thing we can do is not carry a phone?
Well, so for me, I actually kept my location services on because I needed Google Maps. But if you do turn it off, it won't keep the my activity information, but they still catalog where you're going on the back end. So they keep that information. So the only thing, yeah, they keep it for themselves, regardless of what you do. There's another thing that you can do, and this is it's a weird process. But whatever Google account that you have linked to the map, so if you have an email account, you can go in there and turn off your activities under settings. That's the only other thing you can do. But they're saying even if you do that they're still tracking some of your information. They're just saying, oh, a little bit it might still be saved. I think they're doing that to cover.
Do we know what they're doing with it?
No, I don't know. I think that they're using it for possibly advertising purposes because a lot of times when you're online or you're doing little things, you'll see little pop-ups and you're like, how do they kind of know where I'm going or what I'm thinking, or you get reminders? Everybody thinks that's pretty much what they're using it for advertising purposes, and that's what.
Yeah, and those are getting more and more aggressive and pervasive. Yeah. I mean, they're really everywhere now. And it seems like it's something you barely even looked at. Now they're following you around with the, Phillips head screwdriver or whatever the heck it was you looked at online. Now, basically, there's nothing. Is this even? What if you turn off your phone?
I don't know.
I bet
you turn off your
phone.
I think it'll, but I don't know.
Yeah, that has a lot of applications. I mean, I'm thinking Law and Order episodes. I'm thinking stalky boyfriends. That's all bad. Yeah, absolutely. Welcome to the naked new world of technology. Sorry to start your Monday morning off that way. Something possibly more cheery, but perhaps not. Amazon now wants to get into the TiVo space, meaning somehow we'll be able to record television shows and things on Amazon.
Yeah, they're working on a new device that'll record live TV with the goal of letting users play content back on their phones later. So the device, they're thinking about calling it Frank, would have a physical storage and connect to Fire TV boxes if you own one already. It'll rely basically on the same technology as wireless speakers rely on, but they haven't rolled it out yet. This is just something they're thinking about. But it just seems like every day Amazon is coming up with something else to take over the world. Just every day.
I know, and Amazon worries me a lot. Maybe I'm being influenced by my 13-year-old who seems to have a personal vendetta with Jeff Bezos, but
maybe in a previous life.
I think the the news about the echo. The fact that that thing is recording 24/7, even if you unplug it because it has a little backup battery, and that it's been inadvertently sending, people's recorded conversations of people's personal, like, home life to people on their phone list, on their contact list without any notification. It just worries me. And now, okay, so great. So they're going to be recording, but the smart TVs are already recording us, right? Taking our data in, and I think I'm starting to sound like a person is ready to be, institutionalized. But this stuff is enough to make you paranoid.
It really is. It makes me want to just, pull out one of my old flip phones and just use that because it's a little much.
Yeah, but then, I know myself, I'm a convenience junkie, and it's all so very convenient.
It is. It is.
I just got a message on Instagram, says, "Hi Dominic, I'm good luck from Tanzania. I'm listening radio free to KJLH on the app. I'm the number one fan of your radio station."
Amazing.
And it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So, I mean, tomorrow, by the way. So that's the great thing about technology. I mean, I'm keeping touch with people. I didn't meet good luck, but yay. I mean, I'm keeping touch with people I met in Ghana, that I met in Senegal, through WhatsApp and through Facebook, and now apparently through Instagram. You get to keep track of your friends that you never have time to see. I mean, there's so many advantages to it. And by the way, follow us, Radio Free KJLH, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, as long as Google's following us around, we might as well follow each other, right? Follow, like, and all of that. Meanwhile, in the world of our president, and actually not just the president, but, some CEOs and the like, the issue of Twitter in particular, I guess all of the social media, but mostly here about Twitter, is becoming a huge issue. It's like what these guys decide to write. And by these guys, I'm talking mostly about Trump, but there's been news, about Elon Musk. People worried about the guy they call the real life Iron Man, the billionaire inventor who is the man behind Tesla, the car company, and SpaceX. Just tweeting in the middle of the night, tweeting things that can impact the national security in the case of Trump, the future of the electric car in the case of Elon Musk. Um, it's a whole new kind of conversation without a filter.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Elon Musk, he admits that he's stressed out and that the only way he can sleep now is by being on Ambien, and we all know Ambien makes you a little, like you should sleep.
I really didn't know that until suddenly it seems like celebrities are blaming Ambien for everything.
Yeah, and he's tweeting while on it. I mean, like I said, I've never taken Ambien, but from what I hear, it's like drinking wine or something. You get a little loopy, and that means, you're supposed to be asleep during that time, not tweeting. So Elon definitely put out a tweet saying that he wanted to take his company private, and of course the stock plummeted, and because people were pulling out and panicking, like, oh my gosh, if he goes private, then you better take advantage of what the stock is worth right now. So this
not only that, the SEC is investigating him because you're not allowed to say that now right. You're going private unless you actually have the capital to go private. Like you're not allowed to speculate like that on publicly without having a deal in place, which it's not clear whether or not he did. Meanwhile, the president, aside from the fact that he seems to endanger world peace, make us look ridiculous, embarrass the United States in front of the world, it also seems like he's increasingly sort of incriminating himself in the middle of an investigation.
Yeah, he is. He's basically saying right now on Twitter that physicists is very dangerous and it's absolutely impossible to believe. And he's telling social media platforms, if you're reading out fake news, there's nothing so fake as CNN and NBC. And he's just telling them, hey, stop removing people from social media that I feel like that's me, like my supporters. like Alex Jones.
But he's only saying that because Alex Jones is like his, shadow advisor, the guy that, makes up all kinds of conspiracy theories, including the fact that, mass shootings didn't really happen, and a lot of the kind of over-the-top conspiracy theories that President Trump has put forth in his time in office are coming directly from Alex Jones, but they're not factually provable. They're things he makes up or theorizes whatever he's doing. And so, Facebook took him off. Now Twitter has suspended him, even though Twitter is doing a lot less than the other social media platforms, it seems, to regulate, sort of made up, well, the real fake news, which means news that's not provable. The news that President Trump is calling fake is actually evidence-based, fact-based. It's just stuff he doesn't like.
Right. And their CEO, Jack Dorsey, for Twitter, he's saying that they're working on it. They're ready to question everything. And they're just trying to find a way to do it. And it seems like every single platform is going through this. Like, what do they keep up? What do they take away? And to be honest, a lot of people think that Trump should have been suspended from Twitter a long time ago. But they said, oh, we can't do that because he's a world leader and we need to hear what world leaders have to say. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like you're suspending everyone else. So why doesn't he have to live up to the same, the same consequences?
Yeah, well, it is a slippery slope because you can say, well, that's censorship, but then there's also the part about being responsible, right? Being a responsible purveyor of information. I mean, the New York Times and Time Magazine are held to a much higher standard than Twitter and Facebook because they have to fact check and the like. But, and not anyone can just post on Time, magazine. They can post on their own, but no one may watch it because they don't have all of those eyeballs. So it's a whole new way of regulating media, and it has to be worked out. Something has to be done, though, because clearly it impacted the 2016 election. And that's not just me saying that, that's the entire intelligence community. Miles Blockson, thanks for checking in with us this morning. You say you're thinking of going back to your flip phone, but you still are using the smartphones. You just kind of going, oh, well.
Look, I'm just, at this point, it's just more and more information coming out about how much of my life is being tracked. And I'm like, maybe a flip phone would be nice. But let's be honest, I love convenience like you do. So I'm going to keep my iPhone.
All right, we're all going to just stay naked in the middle of La Brea. I think it's better to know it than not know it. All right, Miles, great to hear from you. And once again, where can we find you on social media?
At Miles Pomogul, that's MILES POMOGUL. Thank you, Dominique.
Thank you so much. It's Radio Free 102.3 KJLH, Compton, Los Angeles, Long Beach, and Inglewood. We'll be back with attorney Adia May, one of our top entertainment attorneys here in the greater Los Angeles area. Some business tips, jumpstart your Monday. In 5 o'clock hour, we will be talking with a top music historian. Take a look back at the life, the legacy, and the contributions of the one and only Aretha Franklin. That's coming up. And of course, your phone calls, 520-KJLH. It's Radio Free 102.3 KJLH and KJLHradio.com.
Find your greatness. The front page. Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
Crowds are wasted, niggas doing so much hate, and free your heart, you show your greatness. I like you, had to come from up under the basement, just like you, had faith in trying my patience.
All my brothers, get ready for the KJLH Men's Empowerment Summit. It's going down Saturday, September 8th on the campus of Cal State Dominguez Hills in Carson. And we've got an incredible day just for us with inspiration, motivation, empowerment, sports, and more. And we've invited some of the most amazing panelists and speakers as we cover a variety of topics important to the men of our community. Hey, go to kjlhradio.com for complete information and updates as they develop. It's the KJLH Men's Empowerment Summit, Saturday, September 8th. Put that date on your calendar. It's made possible by the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, U.S. Bank, California Conservation Corps, Neighborhood Housing Services of LA County, and of course your friends here, 102.3, Radio Free, KJLH.
Are you a homeowner who has experienced a hardship? Have you fallen behind on your mortgage payment? Are you seeking solutions but don't know where to begin? Los Angeles Community Development Corporation invites you to attend their home retention workshop this Wednesday, August 22nd, 5 to 6:30 p.m. All home retention services are free. Learn what options are available to help you prevent foreclosure and what opportunities are available to help struggling homeowners avoid foreclosure. Los Angeles CDC has partnered with Aquin, Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac to assist homeowners. No matter who your lender is, Los Angeles CDC can help. They have a 75% solution rate. Services are free. Avoid foreclosure. Register now. Call 323-751-3440, extension 22. That's 323-751-3440, extension 22. West Angeles Community Development Corporation, 6028 Crenshaw Boulevard. Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, can give you your real hair back permanently. Check them out today because they're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone who texts PLAN to 85850. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're ahead of the curve. They use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let them show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text PLAN to 85850. Ask about the Bosley Guarantee. PLAN to 85850.
My number 2 does not look like a number 2. I don't know what to call it. Is there a number 3?
Table for 4, please. Anything close to the restroom?
A middle seat with these stomach problems? That's my fear of flying.
Sound like you? If it does, you could be one of the many people with a digestive condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Even if you don't know what EPI is, you might know the symptoms: frequent diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain. If you have even just one of these symptoms, you could still have EPI, because not everybody experiences EPI the same way, which is why it's so important to open up to your doctor about all your symptoms. And the good news is, EPI is manageable, so don't keep a lid on it. Go to identifyepi.com, complete the symptom checker, and use it to have a conversation with your doctor. Don't keep a lid on it. Visit identifyepi.com. Brought to you by AbbVie.
This is Pastor Mark Whitlock of Christ Our Redeemer AME Church, and right now we have some exciting news for you.
If you're looking to start a business or have a new one, join us at the KJLH Men's Empowerment Summit on Saturday, September 8th at the Banking on Your Success panel. Join Pastor Mark Whitlock from Cord Church in Irvine and his team of experts who will talk about how to get your new business ready to become bank qualified and loan ready to receive funding. The panel will discuss marketing, how to structure your business and other assets for financial sustainability and the success of your business venture. Banking on Your Success Business Finance Panel at the Men's Empowerment Summit is one panel you don't want to miss. For more information on the Banking on Your Success panel, go to kjlhradio.com and we'll look for you on Saturday, September 8th at Cal State Dominguez Hills.
At Christ Our Redeemer AME Church in Irvine, California, we are banking on your success.
Is your loved one facing a long-term illness such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, or suffering the effect of a stroke or a broken hip? Did you know that skilled nursing home care can exceed $100,000 a year? Keep in mind Medicare, your health insurance, HMO, or veterans benefits most likely do not cover the cost of long-term nursing home care. For middle-class families, the cost can wipe out a lifetime of savings. With help from attorney Zoran Basic at Nursing Home Solutions, most middle-class families can qualify for long-term nursing home benefits paid by the state. Keep your home and savings. Keep your business. Remember, you paid into these benefits. These are benefits that you have earned. Protect your assets that have taken a lifetime to build. Most families can get results within 30 days. Call Nursing Home Solutions today at 1-800-7-SENIOR. That's 1-800-7-SENIOR. Or log on to nhscare.com. That's Nursing Home Solutions. 1-800-7-SENIOR.
Announcing a giant used car sale at Worthington Ford with over 600 vehicles on sale and everyone is under warranty. Plus get a 10-day trial exchange included with your purchase. Pick a car, pick a truck, drive it 10 days and make sure you like it. Choose from the largest selection in town. Find a car you love and drive it home with just $95 down. That's right, pick any car on the lot, new or used, and $95 down is all it takes. Worthington Ford works with hundreds of lenders, including their own finance company, to get you financed. They own the bank, so they can finance anyone they want to. With over 600 vehicles on sale and everyone is under warranty. Plus get a 10-day trial exchange included with your purchase. Pick a car, pick a truck, drive it 10 days and make sure you like it. This is a giant used car sale going on now at Worthington Ford in Long Beach. Huge selection, huge savings, right off the 405 freeway, Bellflower Boulevard in Long Beach. And they're open until midnight.
The original university. This is the front page on Radio 3, 102.3, KJLH.
Couple words on the first round, Jesus go first, so if you ain't want to play out, Jesus first, Jesus first, Jesus first. I'm the one that's in the one that sees the first. Couple come to worst, my people's call first, so if you ain't want to play out, Jesus first, Jesus first, Jesus first, Jesus first, Jesus first.
Happy Monday. Let's get happy. You know, why not? We choose, no matter what craziness is going on, we choose Happy Monday. Ooh, before we move on to our next segment with the amazing attorney Adia May, I must not forget the Swahili word day. This is an important one. I learned this when so many people were offering to sell me so many things that I so wanted to buy, but I had no more room in my suitcase. It is hapana. Hapana. It means no. It's kind of no thank you. Well, you could say hapana asante, right? No thank you. But hapana, no. That's our Swahili word of the day. Got it? Asante. Thank you. All right. We've had our inspiration. We have had our Swahili word of the day. Give you a little wellness world coming out of our next break. Right now, though, we're checking in with attorney Adia May. She checks in with us from time to time. Make sure we have our business ducks in a row. She's a triple threat. She earned a joint JD MBA degree from the University of Iowa College of Law, the University of Iowa Tippy School of Management. And before she became an attorney, she got her bachelor's of business administration with a focus on finance from Howard University. Good morning, attorney Adia May.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you?
I'm good. What's going on? What's on our business agenda today?
Well, this morning there's a few things that struck me, particularly, Dominique, because of the death of the CFO, Lisa Franklin, and thinking about business trips that she really operated under and did it way ahead of time. The artists were really thinking about, particularly artists of color, were thinking about their writers and their contracts in a way that protected themselves. One phrase that came to mind is, "My money ain't funny." Lisa did not play about the business. She was a businesswoman I think you can arguably say first, obviously her artistry speaks for itself, but she demanded that her pay be in cash and that it be upfront. And thinking about that, and just thinking about what that means, what that meant then and what it means now, and thinking of longevity and the ability to have success on the business side of the coin, or of the paper work is so important. And I think the artists can learn from that too, and they may forget about that as they move, to move forward for the reason forget. And there's something to be said also for someone who minds their business. She minded her business. An example, I think would be modern day example. Some of the writers that artists are requesting, obviously they incorporate the certain particulars that they need to have, in addition to compensation. But one of the pieces that is coming up now is a diversity component of the writer, and really requiring that who you're working with, whether it be the director of the film or the writers or producers, that those people be represent the diversity of our culture in the nation. So similarly, Aretha demanded that she would not quit on stage until she was paid, number one, and number two, she would be paid in a particular method. And so I think there's a lot that can be, gleaned from that, and taken from that, and then also as a woman, to making that type of requirement crystal clear, speaks volumes. So and I'm always very focused, artists and talent, on that particular aspect, minding your business. And she did that throughout her career, her long career, and her rich career. So those are the things that stand out in terms of minding her business.
And that's, something, I mean, it is interesting. I think it's really noteworthy because when we think about a lot of artists from back in the day, I mean, Aretha Franklin clearly was an artist from now and then. She was able to stand and actually have hits and be relevant in, decade after decade, which not everybody can do. But a lot of the artists who came out in the early wave of soul and R&B and rock and roll, you hear these tragic stories about how they got ripped off for their royalties and they ended up penniless, and they didn't have those skills. There certainly was no school. Most of those artists didn't have the chance to go to Harvard Business School and learn about how to, make sure their contracts were straight, or even in many cases, they didn't even have attorneys that were separate from the record labels. So what do you attribute Aretha's business savvy to?
I think she knew that if she didn't mind her business, if she didn't stand up for herself, she did not play. And I think she's unique in that way. And I think it also comes from her Detroit roots. Me being from the south side of Chicago, there is a grit, there is a certain resolve that comes out of there. And I think Detroit has a lot to do with it. And I think it was her spirit. And she saw that as being a cardinal requirement principle for her to have some sticking power, and she did. She did it, and she didn't apologize about it. And I think, as you said, becoming not, and this takes me to a conversation I recently had. So, this artist had representation that the label was either set them up with, or lawyers that the label had, etc. And that is not something that you want to happen. If you can avoid that, have your own.
Is that even legal? I mean, it seems like it should be completely illegal, conflict of interest.
It does. You can waive that conflict. It is justify if they're not in a position you want to be in, but that is still done, and it can be done. From agencies, for example, big agencies will have a business and legal affairs department, and they will, do deals for talent if the talent consents to it. So you can weigh that conflict. I would not suggest waiving it because there's many conflicts there. So it's not the best situation, but I do think it comes from the grit, it comes from knowing, and it comes from that spirit, and Aretha had it. And
how do you compare that? I'm sorry, go ahead, finish.
But I was going to say, I think, from some of the quotes and some of the stories that I've read, she was also, a go-to artist, because she would drop gems on the young artists. And I'm guessing that was a part of her life. It's not just about, she always talks about showmanship from what I can see, and being excellent and being the best at it that you can be. But I would also imagine part of the conversation was like, do you have a good, are you minding that business? What are your contracts looking like? Who's representing you? Are you in communication with them regularly? Do you know what's happening? Like, I'm guessing she didn't, give power trade if other people sign off for her. She signed it herself. And so those are lessons that artists really, really can grow from, can benefit from, and can have sustainability. That's the sustainability. And she has that, the sticking power, and she has the respect.
How do you compare that to today? I mean, you said that, okay, so you can waive your right to not suffer from conflict of interest and allow the record label to represent you still, which to me seems like it should be completely illegal, but you just informed me that it isn't. Do we still have those situations like what we heard about with artists like Little Richard, where they've signed away all of their, their writing royalties, or, the reason I'm asking is because I've had the opportunity, I've had, in my career, come in contact with a lot of artists, particularly in the hip hop world, through interviewing or just being in certain situations. And it seems like a lot of them are very rich in the videos and very poor in real life.
Yes. Particularly, I think that the whole appearance of rich, appearance of, Benjamin, all without the Benjamins, and having no Benjamins really backing up. And that's still happening today. I actually, I've seen several situations, unfortunately, where people have signed documents, signing over rights, a lot of rights, whether it be publishing, whether it be in terms of what we call the copyright material, their ownership, a whole lot more than they should. But it goes back to knowledge, awareness, and business acumen. And I think there's another point that's important. Is also, we're often in situations where this is it, right? Or I might like to see this again. Well, actually, in terms of negotiations, if you stand up for yourself, you get, and you have good representation, you can get more than the bargain. So but you have to negotiate. It's a negotiation. It's not, okay, where's the dotted line? If that thinking is corrupt thinking, it is not going to propel your career successfully, and it doesn't set a good precedent for you as an artist. As once you do that, then that sends the message. Okay, well, we know the next time we make an offer, we pretty much know this is fine. We don't have to really worry about this individual saying no, or challenging any of the deals, or any major provisions that should be challenged. That sends a strong message there, but that
So
unfortunately. I
two
think
questions
that-
about that. I mean, are these folks not, do they have lawyers? Or they're just like,
No.
they're directing their lawyers, or they're just doing it on their own?
They usually don't have lawyers. And the people in number it's scary. They can't afford it. They think they can't afford it. Or people, unfortunately, they think, well, I can read a contract. I can understand that, I just have to sit down and really, parse through it, and I can figure it out for the most part. I've heard people say this, or this is actually the fact. They are talking about what happened, explaining it and asking for help, but then I can't help them at that point to find a document waiving things, signing rights here. You're bound. And that's contractually binding. There is no, you can fix for that. It's actually.
I hate to say it, it's one of my pet peeves about Black people. I don't know if this applies to brown people, but it definitely applies to Black people. We don't want to pay for professional help. And I know it's a stereotype, so get mad at me if you want to and call me, but I see it so much. We don't want to hire an attorney. We don't want to hire an accountant. We don't want to hire, professional services to set up wills and trusts. We just want to wing it. And then we wonder why other people have more money than we do. I mean, I know that's just one factor. Of course, there's racism and redlining and prejudice. I get all that. But I'm saying with what little we do have, we're not protecting it by using professional services. We're going to do it, or we have a cousin that can do it, or whatever. And yet, we wouldn't just let any old random person on the street do our hair and nails. So it's just something that doesn't make sense to me.
I 1,000% agree with you, and it doesn't make any sense. But but the adage, you get what you pay for, or you get what you don't pay for, I should say. We have, that's what happens, and also, and to your point, Tommy, not only not paying for it, but having different expectations. If your expectation, and Aretha has an expectation of excellence. If you have a high expectation, then you can't be doing low level business.
Let's get Kelly from Gardena real quick. She wants to talk to attorney at DMA. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, Dominique. Good morning to the kjlh family. I'm a very long time fan of Mr. Aretha. I just wanted to give a quick shout out as far as Aretha was definitely a sharp businesswoman. I read an article that was very interesting on what she mentioned. She read it C sharp in the C flat anything. And I think it's more musical than that. I just wanted to give a top of the morning a big kudos to the Queen of Soul, kjlh family. This is Stevie Wonder as well. And then, of course, the lovely Dominique Capri.
Thank you, Kelly. Well said. I'd rather be sharp than the B flat any day, too.
C sharp than the B flat.
I gotcha. C sharp and the B
God
flat.
bless you, kjlh family.
All right, you too. Great to hear from you. Just in wrapping up our conversation about, the business of music, which actually could be a long series, and maybe we'll circle back to this. It's a lot harder to undo this stuff than do it, right? Like if someone comes to you and they have a jacked up contract that they did themselves or their cousin did, it's a lot harder for you to fix it than if they would have come to you right out the box, right?
It's nearly impossible. Nearly impossible. Nearly impossible. And I'm of the belief that usually, okay, there's a solution somewhere, but in those cases, it's nearly impossible. It's really sad, and it happens a lot.
Man, I'm sorry to hear that, but hopefully somebody's listening, or maybe that cousin that's about to get a call to do that contract, and they're saying, we're listening to front page. We really should have an attorney look at this. Attorney,
I wanted to leave with a quote from Aretha, and I think it's very fitting. Be your own artist, and always be confident in what you're doing. If you're not going to be confident, you might as well not be doing Aretha Franklin.
I love that quote. Try to puff ourselves up with that one for the day. Attorney at DMA, tell us how to follow you on all the social media places.
It's at AGMESQ on all social media.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It's always a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you.
5:27 in the morning. We're going to talk more, Aretha, when we get back. If you're calling about that, as some of you are now, do not give up. We'll get to you. We're going to have our musicologist check in with us today. Look at the musical life and legacy of the Queen of Soul. That's going on next. It's the front page. It's Radio Free 102.3 KJLH and KJLHradio.com.
This is the front page. How many? On Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
102.3 Radio Free KJLH wants you to share in a new experience at Disney California Adventure Park. It's Pixar Pier, featuring Incredicoaster with characters from The Incredibles. Come see the lights and special effects and paint the night at Disney California Adventure's unforgettable firework techniques and mind-blowing lighting projections. See your pals from Disney Pixar Toy Story, Monsters Inc. and Cars, and the new addition, The Incredibles. Enjoy Disneyland Parks Together Forever, a Pixar nighttime spectacular fireworks show featuring Pixar stories through the decades as it lights up the sky. Together Forever comes to life through projections of Sleeping Beauty's castle, It's a Small World, and so much more. Then there's the Pixar Play Parade, which makes its way through Disneyland, bringing more favorite Pixar stories. It'll be a tremendous day of fun-filled experiences. Now it's your chance to win one day, one park tickets to Disneyland Resort. Listen to win or go to kjlhradio.com for more information. Come celebrate. Attractions and entertainment subject to change without notice.
Man, I can't believe the dealer wants to charge me an arm and a leg for the brakes on my Nissan.
Man, I know what you mean. My wife and I don't mess around with the dealer anymore. Try my boys at Lex Service. They've been servicing my Toyota truck and my wife's Infiniti for more than 5 years. These guys really know Japanese cars. They have ASE certified mechanics, and my wife likes visiting because they have clean waiting rooms with free Wi-Fi. We get our oil change and our car's service while checking her email. If we need extended repairs, they provide us with free loaner cars. It's first-class service at a fraction of the cost of what we used to pay at the dealership.
I gotta do something.
You can contact these guys by texting the word car to 313131. That's right, text the word car to 313131. Great help reviews. They have 2 locations in the South Bay and Street areas. That's 562-206-1522.
Policy reviewed by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If your answer is yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We can find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-700-1368. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-700-1368. You can save up to 70%. That's 1-800-700-1368. 1-800-700-1368.
The 2018 Black Business Leaders Hall of Fame, presented by State National Bank and the Hart Leadership Center Foundation, is coming to the beautiful USC campus Wednesday evening, September 26th. The Black Business Leaders Hall of Fame recognizes the achievements of great Black businesses in Southern California. Come here, Oscar-nominated writer, producer, and director Reginald Hudlin share his journey in a fireside chat with Red T. Brown. Nominations are now open for the 2018 Hall of Fame class. Visit kjlhradio.com for more information on nominations and tickets, or call 714-458-3064. That's 714-458-3064.
you've been waiting for. Big model year end savings at Nissan. Head to the Bottom Line model year end event for your last chance to save big on the last car 2018s. Like Rogue with available Pro Pilot Assist, or Ultima with standard automatic emergency braking. And Titan, backed by America's best limited truck warranty. Don't wait. Choose the 2018 that's right for you and get big savings at Nissan. It's time to stop looking and start driving. For a limited time, get a low $199 per month lease or get 0% financing for 60 months on the 2018 Nissan Rogue. Shop your local Nissan store and choosenissan.com today. But hurry, this event ends soon. Well qualified customers. 2018 Rogue, $32.99 initial payment for 36 months. $15.67 per month for housing finance for 60 months. Excludes tax, title, and license. Disposition fee due at lease end. Plus finance through internet. Take delivery from your dealer stock. Offers vary by model. See owner's manual for important safety feature information. Call 1-888-858-8319 for limited warranty information and offer details. Ends 8/31/18.
Are you sexually active? Have you had unprotected sex? Do you ever worry about catching a sexually transmitted disease? Do you want to prevent STDs? If your answer is yes to any of these questions, call now 844-466-HOPE, 844-466-HOPE. Participants must be female. Participants will receive study medication and examinations at no cost and be compensated up to $1,400. Call now 844-466-HOPE, 844-466-HOPE. Participate in the National STD Prevention Clinical Study. Participants will receive study medication and examinations at no cost and be compensated up to $1,400. Call now 844-466-HOPE. That's 844-466-HOPE. 844-466-HOPE. Space is very limited and you will be compensated up to $1,400 for participation. Act now 844-466-HOPE. 844-466-HOPE. With a busy family and full-time job, I don't have time to be perfect, but what I can be is better. So we're making small changes to make a big difference in my family's health. At foodchampionsforchange.net, we found fun ways to be active and discover delicious recipes that are quick and good for you. Small healthy changes may help your family prevent obesity, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes. Visit kjlh.net and just eat better. A message from the California Department of Public Health, funded by USDA SNAP and Equal Opportunity Providers and Employers.
And now, headlines from headlines. What today's news is. How many
It's 20th of August, 2018. I want to say thank you to our PTA families who have been calling in this morning with some suggestions on how we can improve our news broadcast. We'd love to have your feedback. Don't forget you can check in with me on all the social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at Radio Free KJLH. You can also find me at Diprima Radio, DIPRIMA Radio, or on Facebook at Trust News Show. White House Counsel Don McGahn has cooperated extensively in the special counsel investigation, sharing detailed accounts about the episode with the horrific inquiry into whether President Trump obstructed justice, including some that investigators would not have learned of otherwise, according to a dozen current and former White House officials and others briefed on the matter. In at least 3 voluntary interviews with investigators that totaled 30 hours over the past 9 months, Mr. McGahn described the president's fury toward the Russia investigation and the ways in which he urged Mr. McGahn to respond to it. The White House is saying that they are not sure exactly what McGahn told Mueller, and that could set up some challenges should the president decide to give Mueller an interview. That's from the New York Times. The Sacramento Police Department unveiling a new policy for chasing suspects on foot. It's a direct response to the deadly shooting of Stephon Clark. Under the new policy, Sacramento officers have to consider their own safety, danger to the public, and the suspect, along with the importance of making an arrest. Officers have to start their body-worn cameras and broadcast why they are beginning the chase and the description of the suspect. Pursuing officers or their supervisor can break off pursuits at any time if the risk of pursuing outweighs the need for apprehension. Those changes in policy adopted late last month also requires officers to identify themselves as police and order the suspect to stop. That's from KCRA 3. Stephon Clark was killed March 18th in his grandparents' backyard in South Sacramento after he jumped fences and ran. Officers say they were responding to a call about a person breaking windows at night. A Lyft driver with two passengers in the back seat was critically wounded in what police believe to be a road rage shooting. The driver, a 24-year-old Latino man, was found inside his car around 4:30 in the morning Sunday with a gunshot wound to the head in Glassell Park. According to the LAPD, he had just picked up two passengers when another driver, who witnesses said had an Uber sticker on his car, shot him and caused his car to shear a fire hydrant on Eagle Rock Boulevard. The victim was taken in critical condition to USC Medical Center. The two passengers were uninjured. That's from NBC4. A former Los Angeles Police Department officer accused of sexually abusing a 15-year-old female police cadet pleaded no contest Wednesday and was sentenced to 2 years in state prison. Robert Kane agreed to a plea deal on 2 felony charges in exchange for a 2-year sentence. The victim, who's now 16, has also filed a lawsuit alleging sexual harassment, emotional distress, and civil rights violations. That is from ABC7. Family, it is 5:38 in the morning. In sports, the Sun took down our LA Sparks 89-86. Sparks face the Lynx tomorrow. In baseball, Dodgers crushing the Mariners 12-1. They play the Cardinals tonight, and the Angels will face the Diamondbacks after losing to the Rangers 4-2. Hot again today, highs in the mid-80s in LA Metro, 90s in the Valley. Right now, 69 degrees in the city of Inglewood. I'm Dominic DePrima for Radio Free 102.3 KJLH and KJLHradio.com. And I'm so excited to have on the air with us this morning the Edmund J. and Louise W. Kahn, a professor of music and Africana studies at the University of Pennsylvania. He's a prolific author, he's a blogger, and he is the leader of a band, Dr. Guy's Musicology. He's got 3 CDs out. Dr. Guthrie Ramsey Jr. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for waking up with us this morning and sharing some information. A lot of people calling and warning and just talking about Aretha Franklin, and I thought it would be great to get a more scholarly look at, really what her place is in our pantheon of iconic musicians that have moved the bar as far as the evolution of music.
Well, I'm like everyone else, I'm sort of still in shock. So many of Aretha Franklin's songs define different moments of your life, even if you didn't think about it in that way, when the person is gone, you look back and think, oh, my TV, and you're hearing all these retrospectives, and you think, oh, I remember what dance we were doing when that came out, or I remember who I was with when that came out, or whatever, So I think this was a great testament to her longevity, first of all. You love to see someone with that immense talent be able to sustain a career, because sometimes that doesn't happen, particularly with our Black artists. It's very hard out there. It's a tough life, and the audiences are fickle. They tend to move on, but Aretha Franklin, managed to stay in our ears for so many years.
It's really remarkable, actually. A lot of old school, as we like to call them, old school or classic artists, don't have a hit for decades. I mean, they're still able to tour based on the early hits, but they do not remain on the charts as Aretha Franklin did.
Right. I had an opportunity recently to see Beyonce perform on this her latest tour, and I started thinking about a singer like Aretha Franklin and Gladys Knight and these women who have been, having very healthy careers and keeping a very positive presence in the music industry. And I think Beyonce is on her way. She can just, she doesn't really have to just keep making hit after hit after hit after hit. But wouldn't we love to see her 60 or 70 years old, out there still vibrant in the way that Aretha Franklin was able to be and respected and revered.
Still sassy, right? Showing up at inaugurations with amazing coats and hats and things.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we don't get to see that often. And Aretha Franklin gave that to us. You know, you look back on that career, all of the hits, all of the awards, all of the ways that her career was honored, and you can say that she gave it all to us. What more could she have done than what she did, particularly starting out in life as she did, you know, with, in some ways she was positioned to be an Aretha Franklin, having a very famous father, you know, but as you know, personally, you know, just having a famous father isn't enough. I have read it here and there. I even read one really excellent article by Jack Hamilton on her piano playing itself. And those of us who are true fans, we knew that she played, and we understood her as being a very strong piano player. Uh, you know, a lot of times when women in particular can play piano and sing, they would rather have her body out front, and it's very difficult to appreciate that when it's behind the piano. So I think Alicia Keys is someone who kind of it still remains behind the piano for a lot of her concerts. And if you compare her to John Legend, who spends a lot of time on his concerts, now sometimes he just on top of the piano. But you know, to show us that Italian cut suit, you know, but he's played a lot of his concerts at the piano. So I think it had more to do with the industry pressures to kind of for women to be out front and to have her body out front and that. Now, as far as the skills go, she's very skilled piano. But she sounded very much to me like all of these women who play services every Sunday morning. You know, they're probably, 10 of them if you throw a rock from the studio.
The church piano ladies, no doubt.
But, yeah, we all know and love them. Now, one twist that I haven't heard really, now this is, can I be unscholarly for a minute here?
Oh, please.
Listen,
You can manage it.
yeah, well, there are these women who are immensely talented, who are instrumentalists, and who are beautiful, and who can sing like angels. We don't really hear a lot about the guys like me who grew up having crushes on these women. Who, we often think about the sex symbol, the male sex symbol as being, with the groupies and all of that, or someone who is, shaking it up and doing cheerleader moves in front of audiences with little clothes on as being, sex symbols. But there are some of us guys who were just completely mesmerized by someone like Aretha Franklin. Just the sheer talent, just the beauty. There's something in their eyes, and it was a really, music helps us to channel our desires. It teaches us how to channel our desires. And I have to say, when I look at some of those early pictures of Aretha Franklin being 18, 19, 20, 23 years old at the piano with a strapless dress and just looking so elegant, who couldn't fall in love with that?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of us, that didn't have crushes also admired her style. I mean, being able to rock that afro, the big fur coats, being able to just, be iconic. I think that's part of what, you have Beyonce and other artists that are women paying tribute to her, Mary J. Blige. Partly it is the style and the presentation, but partly it is, right, her role in making it okay to be in the pop space with that piano, gospel piano and the church, echoes of church and your voice, right? And the blues and all of that.
Yeah, she was definitely striking, to just push the metaphor, she was just striking all the notes, she had she had it all together. And, she's part of a grand tradition of the Detroit, church lady, who you're not going to find a bigger hat on anybody. You're not going to have, a finer, dress than some of those touring gospel women. I'm thinking, of course, of the Clark sisters and Maddie Moss Clark, who their mother, the icon, the gospel icon, who Aretha Franklin sang, she sang at her funeral in Detroit. So Aretha Franklin didn't just fall off the turnip truck. She comes from a legacy and system of women who understood the power of style and the power of their talent.
Got some folks on the phone that would like to talk with you, Dr. Guthrie Ramsey. We're going to go to Charles from 1-800-UNITE-US. Hi, Charles.
Yes, good morning. And thanks for uniting us today. And I want to thank Aretha for uniting us over the years with great music, and also kjlh for the wonderful tribute. So Thursday night, I got out the car at this parking lot, and this brother was playing this music, and every line was the N-word. So I